Well, to continue the theme of software-based production, we've got Dom, who's kindly going to talk about a project we worked on recently. What challenges did you face at the Euros, the Women's Euros, when it came to workflows, particularly given the growth in hybrid working and remote production?
Well, Tom, one of the biggest challenges we faced at the Women's Euros was balancing the nature of hybrid production between remote and on-site and giving production teams access to as much content as possible. ITV Sport, who we worked with, had based their main production hub at our Ealing Broadcast Centre. And then we also provided a small OB truck over in Switzerland. The main issue obviously being is that the production teams being in EBC, they'd only have access to limited feeds, those being the match feeds and limited cameras. Obviously on site, extra content is being created and generated with obviously more ISO cameras and additional feeds. And the big issue was, how do we give the production teams, editors, EVS operators access to all those feeds back in Ealing, or those clips as they were back in Ealing at sort of low cost really, or not as much as obviously bringing back all those feeds over fibre and whatever. So historically, those production teams would have been in an IBC, but obviously we, as the nature of remote production, the teams are back in Ealing, and we couldn't afford to implement complicated or slow workflows. And what we do, we looked at various solutions, and LucidLink was a perfect fit really with its collaboration and cloud streaming services.
Excellent. And can you share some sort of specific examples where the LucidLink platform really addressed some of these pain points, the bottlenecks that you typically experienced previously?
Well, obviously in the Euros, LucidLink solved those workflow challenges by allowing content that was available within the OB truck to be instantly available to the edits and the EVS operators back in Ealing. I'll just give you a bit of a sort of a tech overview of how we achieved that.
Perfect.
So the LucidLink software is installed on one of the EVS X files in the OB truck. The cloud file space that had been set up previously is mounted on that X file as a sort of a local folder, in fact. Automatic rules send clips from the EVS via the X file into that folder, and as soon as those files land in that, what is a local cache or the local folder, they're instantly available or start growing or uploading into that cloud file space. On the other side in Ealing, we had a similar machine that was obviously with that cloud file space sort of mounted as a local folder, and that was, we had rules that had sort of orchestration on the other end of that to push those clips obviously directly into the edit storage and available for the EVS operators as well. So effectively there was sort of very minimal sort of lag between those clips being effectively streamed off the EVS and then available to be used or to be picked up in Ealing. Obviously that would give obviously the editors those extra shots, those extra angles, and obviously they could add more colour and depth to their edits. Sort of on smaller scale, we've used LucidLink in sort of similar workflows where we've had an OB truck, an event, same workflow, EVS X file, and then those selected clips are being pushed up into the cloud file space. But what we've had a single edit in Ealing which has got that file space mounted on the edit, and effectively what the edit is doing is editing with those clips in the cloud. There's minimal, if none, latency issues, and it's the sort of the nature and how the LucidLink is set up. It's sort of as far as the editor is concerned, he's working with local files, and what we've done is that they've edited with those files, exported the finished edit, whether it's a closer or something like that, back into that file space, and that's been picked up on the other side by the EVS or the X file and transferred directly back into the EVS for play out.
Perfect. I mean, it sounds like that was a much more efficient workflow, and certainly the creatives had a good experience working remotely.
No, definitely, yeah. I think it sort of lends its hand definitely to fast turnaround and sort of requirements within sport.
Are there any other benefits that LucidLink delivered to the production teams during the Euros, the Women's Euros? Sorry.
Well, yeah. Well, firstly, actually, I was going to say LucidLink fits in with sort of Timeline's DNA of looking at new innovative ideas and workflows that we could sort of offer to our sort of customers. Obviously, practical benefits are cost savings. In the past, obviously, you would have had to send more people to OBs, and so obviously there's a cost saving there, and obviously on the sustainability front as well, it obviously has its benefits. The clips, while they're being transferred, they're secure. They're encrypted while it's in transit and obviously in the cloud. And the setup is very straightforward. There's no extra infrastructure required, and obviously no additional file transfer software. And what we found as well, that it's reduced the workload of the media management team. In the past, they basically copy content onto drives and then send that out to multiple editors. Sometimes it's the same pieces of media, and obviously now with LucidLink, they just obviously upload it into the file space and it's available for the editors to pick up. And one of the features of LucidLink is that it has file acceleration built into it. So we don't, for this particular workflows of obviously transferring media and making it available immediately for editors, we don't have to rely on our conventional file acceleration tools. I think I've already mentioned obviously that we have the editors using the same media simultaneously, so there's no issues with versions. And how it works is that the editors or producers who are accessing that media, effectively it's access on demand, so whichever bit of media they're using in the edit, that's streamed as a priority.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think I always find these projects fascinating where you start off with one use case and then realise a cloud storage platform can deliver a lot more.
No, definitely, and we're looking at other sort of workflows around that as well that we can sort of expand it.
Perfect. And obviously Timeline like to innovate, have always liked to innovate. It's IBC, so we're all here to see what's next. What new features will you be looking at for LucidLink over the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, I'm excited to see Team Cache. I think it could really benefit sort of fast turnaround workflows. It's one copy of the media is downloaded rather than, so if you have a group of editors, only one copy of that media is downloaded from the cloud file space, and then a group of editors with the client in it sort of completely sort of transparent to the editors. They'll just basically edit with that cached version, the single cache version, and effectively they're connecting at LAN speeds, so they don't need to use up internet bandwidth or anything like that. The beauty is that if that one of the editors goes and works elsewhere, he will still have access to the media in what's in the cloud file space, and it's all the versioning is kept the same. The files, it's all synced effectively, so there's no problems about working on different versions, and obviously aids collaboration.
Brilliant, thank you for that. And it was a pleasure working with you on the Women's Euros and the project in a whole. We look forward to working more in the future. And if anybody would like to find out more at IBC, we're based in Hall 6 on booth 6A12. Thank you.
Cheers, thank you.